I am Chelsea. This is my coffee, and this is Coffee with Chelsea, a podcast. I have a very special guest on today. Not only is she Carrie's mom. If you don't know who Carrie is, hello, Doghouse Rescue Academy. She's the president of it. So I Carrie's mom on, but Carrie's mom is super cool because Carrie's mom is a medium. Yes, I know. So this is my very first medium on Coffee with Chelsea. I'm very excited. Carolyn, thanks so much for being on the podcast with me.
Hey, thanks so much for having me, Chelsea. It's great. I appreciate everything that you do and showing off all our special rescue dogs for Doghouse Rescue. I'm very proud of everything that my daughter Carrie's accomplishing, and I'm happy to be here tonight.
Awesome. So obviously you must love rescue dogs because Carrie has such a deep passion for saving animals. So is that something that you guys passed down in your family?
No, not really. I think we kind of worked independently. My first rescue was one of her teachers in middle school. Mother passed away, and they had a black cockapoo, which they were going to surrender. And I adopted that dog through a third party, and that was Clancy. And that was the first one. And then I think she bought a couple of pups, and she actually saved the life of those two. And she's been doing it, and I've been doing it, and I can't recall how many I have. But when I moved down here, I had several little boxes of ashes of pets through the years, and I planted them around this tree, and I'm running out of room, so now I have to put another around my bird bath. I'm designing something to put them, but it's been great. She goes full blast on everything. Ooh. I think she's got 6, 7 dogs in the house right now.
Yes, I think it's 6. Maybe I think one had a foster meeting or something like that. Okay. So maybe one's moving out. I don't know. It's always coming and going at Carrie's house. It's totally crazy. It's called the zoo for an absolute reason. But I actually met her at a party, and we were both had a few beverages, and I was like, I want to foster dogs. And she was on it the next day calling me, being like, I'll put a dog in your house. And that's it. That kind of started the whole snowball effect of me being part of Doghouse Rescue Academy, and then of course fostering, and then they put this dog in my house named Thor, and I foster failed him, and I'm like, I didn't even want this 80-pound cur, but he's my heart. I love him. And then you recently rescued a new dog.
Yes, I have a new dog. She's calm at the moment. We had some fireworks going off. She's a barky girl. Her name is Sugar.
Oh, I love it.
I just got her the beginning of June, and she's from Miami, and I just lost my big American Bulldog a few months ago. I had to put him down, and my little Brittany, my little Karen Terrier, around the same time. So then I went for about, I would say, a month, maybe 6 weeks with no dogs, just one cat.
Oh my goodness.
And I was going to look at a little dog. I was going to look at a silky terrier or something.
Yeah.
Or a Yorkie. And I was looking for a Yorkie, and this Sugar came up. She's a white American Bulldog, and she was rescued out of Miami. And for Pause for Recovery group out of Sebastian, Florida. So I went across the state and met her in the rescue, and then I went back after her spay. Mm-hmm. She had to be treated for heartworm as well, and she had a broken front leg, and that healed. So she had been attacked down there and picked up by animal control, and then she was in Miami-Dade, and then she was pulled out, and then she was in a foster for 3 months, and now she's with me. So she's still finding her way around, but everything is going good today, except these fireworks went off, and she's like, So if you hear some barking, that's what it is. I just gave her a Benadryl, so let's hope it does something.
I give my dog CBD now because they hate thunderstorms, and then we have fireworks going off all the time too. So I totally understand. I loved when I saw the picture of her because Carrie loves white pitties and white bulldog mixes, and I was like, oh, like mother, like daughter.
Yes.
But of course, thank you for saving. I mean, that's awesome. And, and know she's going to have the happiest house ever with you as well. Now I know where Carrie really gets her passion for animals from. But I want to talk about you being a medium. So how long have you known that you've had this, gift? of being a medium?
I've been doing this probably professionally for about, I think it's almost 15 years
Oh,
now.
wow.
I did most of it about 12 years part-time. I had a full-time job and I retired, and I do this full-time now. And of course, with COVID and everything, it's kind of slowing down. We're doing a lot more FaceTime readings and phone readings, and that's fine. No big events because they've been canceled. So, other than that, I'm really enjoying it. I'm enjoying doing readings. I have a radio show on Thursday evenings on Goldilocks Productions in the Psychic Flow, Thursday nights, 8 o'clock. And I hope you'll join me on that. But it all came about. I was a Reiki master and teacher. I took Reiki classes through 3 states. And I think that was the key that turned the lock. And then when I moved to Sarasota, I had read a lot about, I had a lot of loss in my life, and I had read a lot about mediumship. And I was like, I have no idea how they do this. Never thought I'd be doing it in a million. And I moved down to Sarasota, and at a small church, I saw 2 gentlemen giving messages from the platform. And I said to the audience, and I said, that's what I want to do. So I took classes there. That was the Shrine of the Master in Sarasota, Florida, many years ago. And so I've been doing it since then. And
Wow.
I really enjoy it. Did their psychic fairs, did some big psychic fairs, traveled from St. Pete to Naples. And now I don't do that as much because of the COVID, but I'm still busy. And I have, this is the second radio, well, it's not just a radio show, it went to TV. So I had 2 radio shows and a TV show now. It's a live broadcast. So we have guests from all over the globe.
And you're on YouTube and Facebook, or just?
We're on YouTube, Facebook, and Periscope, and many other places. So I hope you will check that out. Goldilocks Productions page. We're on all of the time. We've changed, we're on StreamYard now, so we've changed formats a few times, but this StreamYard seems to be the best. And I enjoy it. So we have a lot of great guests on, and you join, and you're in the green room, and you can put your questions in, and we answer them if we can, and a lot of interaction, so it's fun.
That is really cool. Do you ever get like people though kind of like trying to troll you? Because I personally am like new to the whole like working, like talking to psychics and mediums. I started last year really with a pet psychic that they brought in with Doghouse Rescue Academy. And I was like, oh, this will be fun. And like some really cool stuff happened. You know, I'm very open to the idea of, you know, the beyond. I've lived with ghosts in my house and everything, and totally knew that there were ghosts in there. So I even find myself being an open person, kind of going in being like, but are they for real? Or are they like I almost like want to test people with things, you know, like, do you ever have people going in to like test you guys, or is everyone just like very open to the idea of, I mean, they're watching, so they have to be open to it?
Sometimes like, we can't control the audience, you know.
Yeah.
I had one guy come on. This is kind of funny. And I was so into what I was doing. I think he was from Periscope. I'm not sure if he was from YouTube or Facebook, but I think he was from Periscope. And we have a following, people that watch all the shows on Goldilocks Productions. We have several fantastic hosts, astrology, channelers, Native American, we got everything. And this guy came on, and the name he used, the screen name was Meatballs and Sausage. And it didn't even dawn on me, to be honest. And I was like, okay, Mr. Meatballs and Sausage. So, and I proceeded to give him a reading. He said, I've never had a reading. I was like, okay. So I gave him a reading. So that's all I have is his name and his comments. That he never had a reading. So I brought in his grandfather for him. And he says, oh, that's my grandfather. He's like, oh my God. So that shut him up. So I think he was just trolling with the name. And I didn't even really pay attention to the name. And it was later, I was like, you know, I was so into what I was doing, I really wasn't. But yeah, I guess you get that. I don't get it too often, but
you converted him. I mean, you were like, oh, you're gonna play a joke on me, like, here it is for you. I have had a couple of people like do card readings for me, and then fun fact, the other day, this was like one of the nights out, we were at a local bar around here, and this very drunk girl comes up to me and it's like, can I read your palm? And you know me, I'm like, absolutely, you can read my palm. And she proceeded to tell me, she's like, oh, you've got a big money decision coming up, and you need to like it's gonna be a good one, like it's lucrative. And I was like, you know what? For being a very drunk person, like you're not 100% wrong. Like she knew nothing about me, and I had a big job interview literally days away, and I was like, okay, that is a little weird. But the universe always works in very mysterious ways is kind of what I like to say to people. So what's the difference between being a medium compared to like being a psychic or a pet psychic, or what's the Native American thing too?
That's another show. That's another show host. I was just saying we have something for everybody on Goldilocks Production. We have several shows. She is a channeler too, I think. What I am is a psychic medium. I call myself a psychic medium because I get psychic impressions, and I talk to your loved ones in spirit. Okay. So that's my primary focus. Some people will call for a psychic reading, like what's happening, what's going on with this person, or what's going on in my life. I do some of that, but mostly my connection is with your loved ones in spirit.
Oh, wow.
So that's basically what I do, to give them a message from their loved ones, to let them know that their loved ones are okay, that they are aware of what's going on in your life, and that they're supportive and encouraging you. And sometimes it's that last goodbye or something that was unfinished. And we can learn a lot from people that have passed over and made their transition into heaven or paradise, whatever you want to call it. They have a life review. So, and nobody escapes that. And it's not like, oh, you did this wrong and this wrong. It's really an eagle's view, a bird's eye view of the whole situation surrounding your birth, your mistakes, your kudos, whatever it is that you did. And that's how we learn. And they will tell me about their regrets or their mistakes. And that's how we learn from them. So I always learn something when I see your loved ones in spirit. So it's great job, actually.
I mean, you wouldn't think like being a psychic medium is like a career path and a job. So that's really beautiful that you give to let people have like final moments or like even say goodbyes. I know that I personally have had a couple of people like pass in my life, and I didn't get to like have the exact goodbye that I would want to have. And it was like really upsetting. And, you always like look for like little signs or little things that come up to like let you yourself know that they're there, they can see you, and that it's all going to be okay, and that they understand. It's just hard sometimes, I think, living away from my family. My family is very much based in like Memphis and Olive Branch, and they're like all over. And then I'm like down here in Florida, like working, doing my life. So I think that's awesome that you get to give people like that final closure almost. So how does it work exactly?
Well, sometimes I don't know how it works, but at other times I feel like I do know how it works. How it works for me is like when I'm seeing someone like yourself, I will see 4 or 5 people in spirit around them, or I have the feeling that I have the energy of 4 or 5 people and animals around you. So I will tune into the loudest one, or the more forceful one, and that is usually the leader of the pack, and they'll introduce other people in spirit that are there for you. I have a a doorkeeper. It's called a guide. His name is Walter Henderson.
Oh, nice.
And he's a British solicitor he passed away in 1944. And
detailed.
But yeah, he gave me this. I looked off there, and I was able to find him, his obituary and everything. So he did have a life here. And he's been very instrumental. He coordinates the interviews for me, so I don't really have to think about it. I just show up, and whoever shows up, that's what goes. And he's like a filter. So I don't have any bad spirits or anything.
Yeah.
I don't dabble in the paranormal much at all, though I can, but I don't, because for me, they're a residual energy that's stuck someplace. I prefer to talk to your loved ones in spirit that have learned lessons. They have something to share with us. Somebody who's stuck in a bowling alley, a spirit that's stuck in a bowling alley or a barn, doesn't really have a whole lot to teach me.
Yeah.
So I'm really not interested.
Okay.
But that's how it works for me.
Very cool. So like a paranormal ghost, like is someone that's stuck in a loop versus you're talking to people that have passed on to that next life.
Right. And they're a dimension away from us. They are very aware of what goes on. Love never dies. So they are always have our back, are always supportive, are always encouraging. And the problem is they're trying to communicate sometimes just to let you know that they made it to the other side, they're okay. we dismiss the signs. We expect, the biggest problem I have with my recipients or my sitters is they'll expect, well, what name was that? Or what, what's this or that? I can't tell you. If they're not telling me, I can't tell you, I don't need to perform for you. Either take this message or don't. You're wasting. There's other people that do psychic work. I have plenty of referrals. I have a lot of friends in the business that are excellent professionals. Be glad to help you out. If you want to speak to dead grandma, I'm your person.
Nice.
I'm the one, or dad, or whoever. So where was I going with that? Anyway, I get half off on my. So yes, I do get people asking me for specific people, and some mediums will tell you, "Oh, we can't guarantee who's going to come in." Well, I can.
Nice.
It's not 1-800 dial the dead, but I mean, I know I can get to your relatives.
I feel like that's your next radio show, though. 1-800 dial the dead. Like, that is clever. Like, I love it. That's kind of rolls off the tongue. May even be like a Halloween kind of theme thing,
There you go. There you go. But I have a lot of friends in the business that do everything from paranormal investigating to the same work that I do, to psychic, to channeling, to writing, to spirit art, radio show hosts, radio personalities, TV hosts. I've expanded my horizons tremendously.
I imagine so.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun.
Do you guys ever like call each other and like give each other like heads up on things? Like, yo, I just had this vibe, or like give each other messages. Is that like a thing in the psychic community?
Yes. Because you can't read for yourself, and you can't. You'll ask anybody to just tarot or anything like that. Those are like psychic sciences or psychic arts. You can't really read for yourself because you're not objective enough. When I started in Pennsylvania with the healing and everything, I would start it with tarot, and I would keep flipping the cards till I got what I wanted. So I was like, okay, this is not for you. Okay. So I have to have direct communication telling me. And that I trust and I believe. And that, I think that's where I was going with that. If people have experiences, people freak out. They don't realize it could be their loved one trying to speak to them. It could be someone who's attached to your house. It most likely, to me, would be someone from spirit is just trying to let you know they're okay and they're aware of what you're going through. But we get all freaked out, or we demand that they come and show a certain thing.
Yeah.
They have to learn, mediumship is a language. We have to learn how to communicate with people in another dimension or another frequency. So they have to learn, they have to come down to me, and I have to come up to them.
Yeah.
And show that through pictures, song titles, movies, slides, words, names, feelings. You have to use all of it. Clairaudience, everything. You have to use everything.
Wow.
To communicate that message. And it just, and that's how it works. And you just kind of tune into them and listen to them. And that's really, I think, what the paranormal people that are haunting buildings, they want to tell their story.
Yeah.
And there are people that are very gifted at interpreting that story for them. I choose not to do that as much. I choose to speak to those who have made their transition and had a life review that has something to bring to us,
Yeah, absolutely. I did one paranormal investigation in my lifetime, and it was interesting to say the least. So like I said, I had a roommate. I'm 98% sure her mom followed us around like absolutely everywhere. Like they had a very interesting bond, and it was a traumatic death. So weird things always happen in my house. So I was very open to this. So I go to this really cool place called the Imogen Theater. It was in the Panhandle of Florida. And we were talking to the ghost there. It's haunted by a little girl named Imogen and a couple of other people. So, I mean, of course, like, they got like the apps going that I like kind of don't really buy into because it's a free phone app. And then we have like people who are actually like walking around, like, getting the EMF meters. But I got these little things, the little ghost prong thingies.
Oh, yes. Tom. What do you call them?
The spirit tongs, I think is what they called them.
Yeah, L-rods.
Yeah, that's right. But every time I had it, they always pointed back to me, and they said I couldn't use them because I had like, they were like, oh, you must be like an empath or had some stuff going on, because I'm not even like no matter what happened, every time I touched them, just directly at me. And I'm like, am I possessed? This is totally weird. So that was like my one big ghost hunting day. And I wasn't even like able to use the tongs, but it was cool. Like, I mean, I felt like an at peace vibe there. It definitely didn't feel like a bad space, but I've definitely walked into houses and been like, this is a bad vibe. Like, this is a bad, heavy space. And then of course my grandma, she told me like, oh no, the whole Castoria side, like the women, your great grandmother had like a seance room, and like it runs in the family. So
There you
you
go.
don't have to like give into it, but like it is part of you. So just remember that, which was interesting. She was a very practical human being.
Right.
So for her to be like, oh, listen to this. I was like, wow, grandma, that's crazy. So
Yeah. Well, spiritualism at that time was big.
yeah.
You're talking about late 1800s, early 1900s.
Mm-hmm.
And resurfaced.
And Italians too.
Yes, very much so. And of course, they blend that with their Catholicism, sort of like I do. I have a Catholic background, and people don't understand that. You have to be one or the other. I said, no, I'm a metaphysician as well. That means that I expand on that. Now, you ask your grandmother if they went to church, or your family around your grandmother. Of course they did. And they read tea leaves, or they read cards, or they read palms, or, you know, they used pendulums, or of course, that's what they did. And, you know, it may be hidden because maybe the church didn't appreciate that, but it's become much more open now. It's not a big, you know, churches are filled with seers and psychics.
Absolutely.
So, but it is a hereditary component as well. Maybe not everybody. Sometimes mediumship or psychic abilities are strengthened by trauma,
yeah,
or an accident, you know, things like that. So somebody could be the only one in a family, but maybe they experienced a trauma.
Yeah.
But getting back to, you have I have to say, there's a big black dog here.
What?
A big black dog. Do you have a black dog in spirit?
Do I have a black? I don't. What do you mean in spirit?
Like that's deceased?
I have. Do I have? I don't think I do. I don't have a black dog. I had a brindle dog that was really dark colored. She was like a dark brindle. I had a black foster dog named Indy, but he's still alive and he's in Orlando.
I have a black dog in spirit here walking around, and I'm not sure who that's for. I just assumed it was for you. When I look at you, you know, you have a few older women. I don't know if your grandmother is still here, but maybe her mother or her family is here. I also have an aunt here for you as well. I'm getting the word aunt. So I don't know if you have an aunt that's passed, okay? And of course, an uncle, and I have brothers. I have something about brothers. So I don't know if it's dad's brother, uncle's brothers, family going back, and they are talking about, the one word that I do get is carbona. So that's a dish, Italian dish, carbona. I don't know if somebody made that. Usually I get spaghetti and meatballs for that kind of family, but I get carbona with yours. And I'm getting somebody rolling dough out, some kind of dough, maybe for pasta or a pie or something rolling. I want to let you know that there is, and this black dog is still here, and it has a kerchief on.
Maybe that's what Penny is barking at, because she keeps barking at nothing, and I always ask her what she's always barking at, and she's like I'm just saying, I don't know what she's barking at. You see a black dog, Penny?
It might be a dog that is grounded in spirit, just hanging, likes the house, likes your property, is attached to somebody with you, or surrounding you. But anyway, this is it looks like a big black lab to me with a kerchief on. So I don't know who that is. Maybe it'll come to you. But I also want to speak about, if I may.
Yes, absolutely.
Why do I want to speak about your father? Is your father's parents passed? Or brother passed? Okay.
Both of it, actually, my grandma and grandpa on my father's side have passed, yes.
Okay. Is there an uncle, a brother of your father's that I would be taught, or is that mom's side?
Actually, no, the uncle would be on my mom's side.
Okay.
Recently.
Okay. So they're letting you know that he has arrived safely.
Okay.
Okay. So this is mom's brother, right?
Yes.
Mom's brother? Okay. And dad's grandparents is who I have, right?
Probably his grandparents, but I mean, his parents have passed too. So They're all
His,
gone.
that's what I meant. His parents. That's what I meant.
Yes,
Sorry.
grandma and grandpa.
So I got one side and I got one from the other side. Okay. I don't know who drank Schaefer beer back in the day, but I'm seeing a can of Schaefer beer. Now this would go back. Don't know if that's okay. Not putting anything. I'm just letting you know there's beer in heaven, there's pasta in heaven, there's beer in heaven, there's dogs in heaven. It's all good. Okay. I just want to let you know.
I'm in. Sign me
Okay,
up.
here you go. Otherwise it would be heaven, right? I want to let you, and I also have someone with a lung condition here. So I don't know if this is the grandparents or the uncle. I want to say something about crushing. I want to say crushing. So I don't know if he had pneumonia, heart attack, what he passed from, illness. I want to say I arrived safely. I am visiting, he says. I also feel like a memorial and a military kind of feeling around this family, some kind of military participation. So I feel like as a veteran, celebrated as a veteran, I want to say thank you for the celebration of life kind of feeling. He said it's not all, he's going like this, it's not all sad. He goes, it's not all sad. It's kind of a joker kind of guy.
Yeah.
And something about cars, I kind of like cars. I'm around cars, or I like flashy cars, or I work on cars. Also has a picture, it's black, I think it's a black and white, excuse me, of him with a tie on, a loose tie, just a shirt, no jacket, loose tie. And it's a birthday celebration. So I also want to talk about celebration coming up for your family, for that side of your family. I feel like some kind of celebration. And I'm also going with the wind, he's saying. So I don't know if he was cremated, because he's saying something has gone with the wind. I don't know if there's ashes somewhere. Somebody has ashes. Rather than being interned, they were cremated rather than being interned. So I don't know what that is talking about that. And he's saying something about your mother and a button nose. Your mother? This is your mother's brother. Button nose?
Yeah.
A lot of love to her.
Wow. That's
he's also saying she has to watch her legs. Just watch her legs, something about the spine, and there's something about vascular circulation in her legs. And he's saying she was always rough and ready, your mother. Always rough and ready.
Yep, she's a rodeo queen.
Yep, it reigns supreme. And God bless her. He says, God bless her. And I want to thank her for the handkerchief or something she put in a rosary handkerchief, something in his hand. At the wake or the memorial. So I want to say I'm aware of that, and he sends a beautiful pink rose to her.
Wow.
Does any of that make any sense?
It does actually. My mom's brother passed not too long ago, and he had a lot of lung issues. He actually had the machine that gave him oxygen, and I don't know a lot of the details on the funeral, so I'm probably gonna have to call and let her know this conversation just happened. But they were country Mississippi people, rough and tumble rodeo queen. I have no doubt that was probably some beer that Uncle Larry drank. So
he also shows a pin, and he wore a pin on his lapel, so it could be military or Knights of Columbus or VFW or Eagles or something. I don't know. There's something about a pin here.
Okay.
That he would wear on a suit jacket. Not that he wore suits that often, but
I was like, you sure you got Uncle Larry?
yeah, he showed me that. And they're also but they're also showing a button box. So her parents, her mother, grandmother, they had a button box in those days, and if you missed a button, you'd pick one out of this box, and it was more of a memory thing. Remember when I made you this dress? Remember when you had this jacket? Remember when you wore that dress to the prom? The buttons are memorabilia.
Wow. I don't know about the button. I don't know about the buttons per se right now, but my mom loves to sew, and her mom loves to sew, and that whole family is very, they're just they're Southern Mississippi people, so they're very simple people, and lots of things like that do hold it holds a lot. Man, you're really shocking me here. You're kind of catching me off guard. I don't know what to say.
Well, I didn't warn you. I kind of took advantage of the situation, but I couldn't resist. I figured you were nice enough to have me on the show. I should at least let you know your relatives in spirit are around you. So, because that's what I do. So I wanted to show you.
That's awesome. That's
And
awesome. I actually I was hoping, Carrie said if I wanted to talk to somebody, I needed to open myself up to it and kind of like say a little prayer about it earlier. So I did say a little prayer and I was like, whoever wants to talk to me, let's go at it. And obviously my very loud to talkative Italian family stepped up to the plate because I mean, rolling pasta, that's something my great grandmother did all the time. My grandmother herself wasn't a big cook, but it could be also rolling biscuits because that's my grandma Lucy Bell, and she would always cook some biscuits.
They'll put a cameo appearance. They'll show something that they're known for. And so instead of them all taking up a whole bunch of time, they're very respectful that way. They will let somebody come forward and they'll just show a little piece of their personality.
Yeah.
To let you know that they're here and that they're around you.
Well, that is absolutely awesome. I'm still going to figure out what this big black dog is. Maybe it's my spirit animal. They said that I had one.
No, could be.
But I'm telling you, my dogs always bark at something. And I did ask the pet psychic. I was like, Penny, what are you barking at? And she was like, I'm barking at the animals. And I was like, what animals? There's nothing here. So.
But it could be somebody as a play date. It could have been a dog that she knew that passed away. Yeah, I get 14. So he may have been 14 years old. He could be around the property. But I think it's a friend for your pup. I think maybe that's what it is, a friend in spirit. And I also have you ever heard of a dish called noodle pie?
Noodle pie? I think
it's
so.
Chopped meat, egg noodles, stewed tomatoes, green peppers, something like that. Somebody just pulled a big pan of this out in the oven, something similar to that out of the oven. I don't think it's lasagna because they would say that.
Oh my God. But it's like a big ziti almost. Yeah. I love me some baked. Or it could even, I wonder if it's a Stouffer's lasagna.
Love that. Don't you love that? That's a good, carbon copy. It's not the real thing, but it's not bad.
Yeah, I know.
Good for me.
Maybe somebody's hungry and saying I need to cook more Italian food. I don't know on that one. We didn't have like a lot of things that were just like, no, like my dad always made like baked ziti and stuff like that. And like, I guess he got it down from his family. I wouldn't probably say his great grandmother or his grandmother. So my great grandmother was the big cook in the family. And that's kind of where all of our like family recipes have come down from. And she's also the one who, like I said, would have the seances and stuff. So I wonder if she's like popping through. I think I met her 2 or 3 times.
She sends a feather here. It's like a white feather with a black top on it to you. So I think she's trying to say, we all have spirit guides, everybody, whether you acknowledge them or not. Can you imagine them standing back like, hello, 50 years from now, can you please use me? So I came in with Walter. I also came in with an Indian protector. I came in with a healing guide. I came in, that's the philosophy I was trained in. So everybody has these, whether you use them, believe it or not, they're still there. From this lady that had seances in her house. Oh, she also did table tipping. Did you know that?
What is that? So what is that?
That's how spirit communicates. They would have a small round table and it would go around the room and up the walls and spirit would talk, it would knock, it would.
Yes, she did that. I heard that my grandma told me that story at the party that we were talking about it. What? Yep. Stop it. My grandma's here.
She sends this beautiful feather to you. So I have a feeling that she's passing on words from her spirit guides, which I think were Native American. So, wow. So she gives that to you. So I'll shut up now. But anything else they ask me?
No, that was just absolutely that was awesome. I don't know why, but like I feel just so like much better for some reason. And I like feel really happy and like really calm. Sometimes I'm nervous about doing these podcasts, just like being totally honest. And like I have a very like calming vibe from you. So thank you for reading me and thank you for telling me about all this stuff going on. I'm telling you, like 3 days from now, I'm gonna be texting Carrie and being like, oh my God, I know exactly what your mother was talking about now. It's gonna be mind-blowing. Be aware, I'll be texting you.
Okay. I'm glad I could help. It's supposed to be a mediumship reading from anybody, but particularly I make it an effort that you do feel better, that you feel the love and the emotion and the warmth around you. They have not forgotten you.
Yeah.
And that they are around. The biggest thing is sort of validating if you're using your own intuitive skills, you have to validate what you're getting.
Yeah.
And that makes you feel better. But if woo-woo stuff's just going on in the house, it makes you nervous. But, you could ask them, who are you? What are you doing here? Do you have a message for me? And if you want to communicate with your loved ones in spirit, set the intention before you go to sleep at night.
Oh, wow.
You'd like to see them in your dreams. You'd like to converse with them. And it'll be coming very fast, very short, but it will happen. And you can build on that. And that's how you communicate.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you so much for being on my podcast. I totally appreciate it. Please tell people where they can watch your show. It's In the Psychic Flow.
Yep. Goldilocks Productions, Facebook, Periscope, YouTube. Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And my website is carolancarey.com. CarolanCarey.com.
Well, as you can see, she's obviously the real deal. Plus, she loves awesome rescue dogs. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for tuning in. And you can follow me on Instagram at coffee_with_Chelsea. And of course, you can listen on Spotify, Pandora, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, everywhere where you get podcasts. But I am Chelsea. This is Carolan. And this is my coffee. And this is Coffee with Chelsea, a podcast.